The story opens with Tyler, a 21-year-old college student, pacing frantically in their bedroom, their face a mix of horror and disbelief. The muffled sound of their dad, Greg, working outside filters through the window, but Tyler is too consumed by their internal meltdown to care. "This isn't happening? This can't be happening," Tyler mutters to themselves, clutching their phone as if it could erase the last 10 minutes of their life. Their internal monologue becomes external. Of all the things he could have found, it had to be that. Tyler steps out of the shower, towel draped over their shoulders, humming absent-mindedly. As they approach their room, they freeze. The door is wide open and their dad is inside. Not just inside, cleaning. "Hey bud, figured I'd help tidy up," Greg says casually, lifting a stray hoodie from the floor. But his hand pauses over the drawer he just opened. His brow furrows as he pulls out a sleek black object that's very much not a flashlight. Tyler stands frozen in the doorway, droplets of water pooling around their feet. Greg squints at the object, turning it over in his hands like an alien artifact. This isn't mine, is it?" The flashback ends as Tyler flings themselves onto their bed, groaning into the pillows. The thud of a hammer outside reminds them that Greg is still around, likely pretending the last 10 minutes didn't happen. Tyler's mortification grows throughout the day. They avoid Greg at all costs, waiting until the coast is clear to sneak out of their room for food. During dinner, Greg tries to act normal, but it's painfully awkward. He hands Tyler a fork and accidentally drops it, mumbling, "Slippery fingers." Tyler chokes on their water, convinced it's a coded reference. The tension reaches its peak when Greg knocks on Tyler's door that evening. Tyler flinches at the sound, heart racing. "Hey kiddo, you decent?" Greg asks awkwardly. "Go away," Tyler shouts, voice cracking with panic. I just wanted to say dinner's ready," Greg says, clearly struggling. After a beat of silence, he adds, "And, maybe we can talk later?" Tyler buries their head under a pillow, muttering, "Never. Never in a million years." As night falls, Tyler texts their best friend, "I'm moving out. I don't care if I have to live under a bridge. My dad found it. I'm done." Their friend's reply makes them pause. "He's probably more embarrassed than you are. Parents are awkward too, you know." Tyler stares at the message, wondering if it's true, but deciding it's not worth thinking about. They toss their phone aside and curl up in bed, determined to pretend the day never happened. But they know tomorrow will bring more awkwardness. And possibly worse. Tyler wakes up the next morning to the smell of bacon wafting through the air. Normally, breakfast would be a comfort, but today, it feels like a trap. After all, Greg has clearly been waiting to have the talk. Tyler debates their options. Sneak out the back door and skip breakfast, or face their dad like an adult. Their stomach growls loudly, betraying their decision. The kitchen is unnervingly quiet when Tyler enters. Greg is at the stove, flipping bacon with the focus of a man who is avoiding eye contact at all costs. Tyler sits down, cautiously picking up a slice of toast. The tension in the air is thick enough to slice with a knife. Greg finally breaks the silence, speaking without turning around. "So, about yesterday." Tyler immediately chokes on their toast. Nope, we're not talking about it." Greg sets the pan down with a sigh and turns to face his child, looking as uncomfortable as Tyler feels. "Look, I'm not going to pretend that wasn't surprising, but, I want you to know it's okay." "It's not okay," Tyler blurts out, cheeks flaming. "It's the opposite of okay. You found it, and you held it." The memory alone makes them want to crawl under the table and never come out. Greg scratches the back of his neck awkwardly. "Well, yeah, I didn't know what it was at first. Thought it was a weird flashlight." Tyler groans loudly, burying their face in their hands. "Why are you even cleaning my room? You never clean my room." Greg shrugs, clearly flustered. "I was just trying to help out, you know. Your mom always said I should do more around the house, and, well, I guess I picked the wrong drawer." Tyler peeks out from behind their hands, catching the sheepish expression on Greg's face. Despite their embarrassment, they feel a twinge of sympathy for him. This is probably just as awful for him as it is for them. Greg sits down across from Tyler, clearly fumbling for the right words. "Look, kiddo, you're an adult now. I get it. You've got, needs. He cringes as the words leave his mouth, and Tyler immediately covers their ears. "Oh my God, stop! Please stop talking!" "I'm just saying it's normal," Greg insists, his face as red as Tyler's. "When I was your age, we didn't have fancy gadgets, but..." Tyler jumps up from the table, their chair scraping loudly against the floor. "I'm going back to my room, forever." "Wait," Greg calls after them, his voice softening. "Tyler, I don't want you to feel embarrassed about who you are or anything like this. I just want you to know you can talk to me, okay? About anything." Tyler pauses in the doorway, their back to Greg. For a moment, they consider responding, but the overwhelming mortification wins out. Without a word, they flee back to their room. Back in their room, Tyler flops onto their bed, texting their best friend Megan. "It's worse. He tried to give me a 'you're an adult now' talk over bacon. I want to die." Megan replies almost instantly. "Honestly, your dad sounds kinda sweet." Most parents would have freaked out. Tyler stares at the message, conflicted. As mortifying as the situation is, Megan might have a point. Greg could have been angry or judgmental, but instead, he was trying in his awkward dad-like way. "He's still cleaning my room. That's the real crime," Tyler texts back. Megan replies, "You need to take control, make a joke about it or something. Own it. If you laugh first, it takes the power away." Later that day, Tyler hears Greg in the garage, tinkering with some project. They take a deep breath, determined to face him again. Peeking into the garage, Tyler clears their throat. Greg looks up, startled. "Hey, kiddo." "Look," Tyler begins, their voice hesitant. "About earlier. Thanks for not being, like, a jerk about it. But can we make a deal? You stop cleaning my room, and we never talk about this again." Greg chuckles softly, clearly relieved by the olive branch. "Deal. But, just so you know, if you ever need to talk about anything, I'm here." Tyler nods, offering a small, awkward smile. "Thanks, Dad, but let's just not, okay?" Greg holds up his hands in surrender. "Noted. And, maybe label your drawers next time." Tyler groans, their face burning again. "Oh my God, you're the worst." But as they head back to their room, they can't help but feel a little lighter. Sure, it's been the most humiliating experience of their life, but at least they've survived it, mostly intact. The next few days at home are a minefield of awkward silences and forced small talk. Tyler avoids Greg whenever possible, while Greg seems to oscillate between pretending nothing happened and sneaking concerned glances at his child. Tensions simmer under the surface, but neither of them knows how to break the ice. Megan, ever the voice of reason, invites Tyler out for coffee. "You've got to lighten up about this," she insists as they sip their drinks. "Seriously, you're the only one still dwelling on it." Tyler scoffs. "Of course I am. He's my dad and he found it. How do you just move on from that?" Megan shrugs, smirking. "By owning it, think about it. He's the one who's probably mortified. If you laugh it off, you'll flip the script. It's all about confidence." Tyler mulls this over. Megan's advice makes sense in theory, but the thought of addressing the incident head-on sends a fresh wave of embarrassment through them. Later that evening, Greg knocks hesitantly on Tyler's bedroom door. "Hey, kiddo," he says, stepping inside before Tyler can tell him to go away. He holds a box in his hands, looking both sheepish and determined. "I thought we should talk about something else. Maybe this will help." Greg sets the box on the bed, and Tyler eyes it suspiciously. "What's this?" "It's, something from my past," Greg says, scratching his neck awkwardly. "Figured it might make you feel less alone." With growing trepidation, Tyler opens the box. Inside is a dusty VHS tape labeled "Body by Jake, Workout Extravaganza." Beneath it is a battered muscle magazine with a ripped cover. Tyler bursts out laughing despite themselves. "What is this?" Tyler asks, holding up the magazine. Greg flushes. "That's from when I was your age. Your grandma found it one day and wouldn't stop teasing me about it. I thought the world was going to end." Tyler stares at him, torn between horror and amusement. "You're telling me Grandma gave you grief about whatever this is?" "Oh, she didn't just give me grief," Greg says, chuckling now. "She told every single family member at Thanksgiving. I thought I'd never live it down." As Greg recounts the story, Tyler can't help but laugh. The mental image of their stoic grandmother roasting their dad is too much to handle. For the first time since the incident, the tension between them starts to ease. "You know," Tyler says, wiping tears of laughter from their eyes, "I can't decide if that makes me feel better or worse." Greg grins, relieved to see his child laughing. The point is, we all have embarrassing moments, and they feel like the end of the world at the time, but they're not. You'll survive this, and eventually, you'll even laugh about it. "Maybe," Tyler admits, "but I'm never labeling a drawer again. If you find something else, that's on you." "Fair enough," Greg says, holding up his hands. "I'll steer clear from now on." The next morning, Tyler decides to test Megan's theory. Over breakfast, they casually say, "So, about that weird flashlight you found, should I get you one for Father's Day?" Greg chokes on his coffee, his face turning bright red. Tyler bursts out laughing, their embarrassment momentarily forgotten. Okay, you win," Greg splutters, laughing despite himself. Point made. For the first time in days, the awkwardness between them dissolves completely. Tyler feels a surprising sense of relief. They've taken control of the situation, and it doesn't feel so unbearable anymore. That evening, Tyler texts Megan, "You were right, I made a joke, and now it's funny, sort of. He's still dad though, so it's gross." Megan replies with a stream of laughing emojis. "Told you! Now, go label your drawers just in case." Tyler rolls their eyes, but can't help smiling. It's not perfect, but it feels like a step forward. Maybe, just maybe, they'll look back on this one day and laugh about it for real. Well, maybe. With the initial awkwardness finally dissipated, Tyler and Greg settle into a fragile truce. Life resumes its usual rhythm, though Tyler occasionally catches Greg glancing at them with a faintly amused expression. It's clear the incident still lingers in the back of both their minds, but it no longer casts such a heavy shadow. One weekend, Tyler and Greg are at a local hardware store. Greg is browsing light fixtures while Tyler follows, half listening to his commentary about wattage and energy efficiency. Suddenly, a voice calls out, "Greg, long time no see." Greg turns to find an old friend, Jim, from his college days. Jim is jovial and loud, and within moments the two are catching up like no time has passed. "So, how's the family?" Jim asks, his gaze shifting to Tyler. "This your kid? They look just like you." Tyler offers a polite smile and a wave. "Yep, this is Tyler," Greg says, his voice full of parental pride. "Smart as a whip, though I could do without the labeled drawers." Jim chuckles, confused. "Labeled drawers? What's that about?" Tyler freezes, their face heating up as Greg's grin widens mischievously. "Oh, just a little organizational quirk," Greg says innocently, though Tyler can hear the teasing undertone. "I swear," Tyler mutters, nudging Greg in the ribs. "If you say another word..." Greg laughs but mercifully drops the subject, leaving Jim none the wiser. Tyler glares at him as they walk away, but Greg only winks. "Payback for that Father's Day comment," he says. That evening, Tyler recounts the hardware store debacle to Megan over FaceTime. Megan, predictably, finds it hilarious. "Honestly, I don't know why you're still embarrassed," she says between giggles. "He's clearly over it. You should be too." "Easy for you to say," Tyler grumbles. "It didn't happen to you." Megan's eyes light up with a familiar, devious glint. "You know what you should do? Get him back." "How?" "Snap!" "Next time he brings it up, you drop something about his embarrassing stories," Megan suggests. "Remember that muscle magazine he showed you? That's gold." Tyler considers this, a small smile creeping onto their face. "You're evil," they say, "but you might be onto something." A week later, Greg invites a few friends over for a backyard barbecue. Tyler is reluctantly helping set up when one of Greg's friends mentions how tidy Greg's garage is. "You must have passed your organization gene to Tyler," the friend jokes. "Heard about those labeled drawers." Greg laughs, clearly enjoying the attention. "What can I say? The kid's thorough." Tyler takes a deep breath. "Speaking of being thorough," they say, feigning innocence, "should I grab that old muscle magazine from the attic to show everyone? Or was that just a phase?" Greg's smile freezes, his face turning a brilliant shade of red. His friends burst into laughter, demanding the story. Tyler leans against the counter, arms crossed smugly. "It's a classic, really. Ask him about the workout VHS too." Okay, Greg says, waving his hands in surrender. You win, I'll never mention the drawers again. The moment feels like a victory for Tyler, but more importantly, it feels like they've finally leveled the playing field. Later that night, after the guests have left, Greg and Tyler sit together on the porch. The cool evening air carries the faint scent of barbecue smoke. "I know I tease you," Greg says, breaking the silence, "but it's just because I like seeing you laugh. I'm proud of you, you know." Tyler looks at him, surprised. "For what?" "For being yourself," Greg says simply. "Even if it means I have to accidentally find, things I'd rather not find." Tyler laughs, the last of their embarrassment melting away. "Thanks, Dad. And for what it's worth, I'll try not to label anything else." "Deal," Greg says, holding out his hand for a mock handshake. Tyler takes it, feeling a new sense of camaraderie with their dad. They're not just moving past the incident. They're growing closer because of it. Over the next few weeks, the incident fades further into the background. Tyler still cringes whenever they think about it, but now it's accompanied by a laugh rather than mortification. They realize that the real embarrassment wasn't in what Greg found, it was in fearing what he'd think of them, and that fear, as it turns out, was unfounded. By the time Father's Day rolls around, Tyler presents Greg with a gift-wrapped flashlight. Greg opens it, bursts out laughing, and says, "Touché."